Welcome to the Chapter 14 clear of my no-pay DLC and no RNG drops Engage Maddening LTC run. After 2 maps of Parthia farming, Kagetsu is now ready to take center stage. Because he reached at least level 3 Swordmaster, he currently has the same amount of strength as Panette, while possessing much more speed if they're in the same class. He's not going into Berserker like Panette is though, as he reclassed into Warrior for slightly higher speed while still having the ability to use the Silver Greatlance. A lot of characters inherited Reposition for this chapter. Reposition is a great movement skill that can be used to move units further and is especially helpful for relocating a unit from their starting position. Due to the Halberdier below Pandrail, the rescue bumps Kagetsu further up, which is perfect because Kagetsu can now get into the correct position to grade Aether.
No mistakes.
Ivy is obstructing in front of herself so that she's out of range of the sword fighter above her.
Whatever you say.
As you like.
Understood.
Merrin used Bondage Shield to protect Pandrail from the enemies. Because they're both flyers, the Bondage Shield has 100% activation rate. Citrine is going to farm EXP this map. Amber is just going to call doubles for some free bond rank.
Alright.
Alir is obstructing next to Merrin to establish a wall. This will generally keep Alir and Ivy safe from the nearby enemies. Fram was moved into this position to draw the Axe Fighter away from the pillar. It might seem wasteful to reclass Kagetsu into Warrior just for this chapter to do what Panette can already do, but Kagetsu does have some advantages in being the one to grade Aether, as if he's pushed further up he can clean up the area with the hand axe when Panette cannot. Additionally, his attacks on Hortensia are fully reliable when Panette's might be either inaccurate or require a crit. He also appreciates the XP to reach benchmarks, and I think throughout this run Kagetsu will show that the investment into him is worth it. The sword fighter must attack Alir from above, as from that position he's providing a chain attack onto Kagetsu. That draws the Swordmaster of Ignored into his Great Aether. If the sword fighter attacks from Alir's lap, the Time Crystal must be used. The main reason that the Celica Grave went on Nordhorn was for this combat, as Merrin is getting attacked by a Killer Lance. If she gets crit, then she'll take too much damage to survive her next battle, so the Celica Grave is there to prevent the crit. Merrin cannot miss either of her 98s, otherwise Pandrail will face a chance of death next turn. With the Ike Grave Silver Greatlance and a Strength Tonic, Kagetsu has enough damage to one-shot all the surrounding enemies with a Great Aether. The point of speed Kagetsu gets in this level up allows him to double Hortensia without the need to inherit speed plus 3 yet, which is really nice because this chapter requires so many Bond Fragments for all the reposition inherits already. Pandrail will now rescue Panette. And she will take the Silver Greatlance from Kagetsu to one-shot Mavier. It's important that she reaches level 2 here after defeating Mavier, as she will need that point of strength to hit a 1-round benchmark later. Kagetsu can now go into the middle of the room and kill Zephyr with a hand axe. By being in this position, he'll take out a few more enemies during enemy phase.
That would... To the death.
Panette needs to be traded over to the Lucina engraved hand axe so that the enemies will not target her. Ivy will also mend Panette, since if the enemies see lethal damage on her, they might attack her as well.
Here until the
Alir
end.
unfortunately has to rewarp, as I'm a few spaces off from reaching the tile that they could be warped into the treasure room from. Boots are inside the left chest of the treasure room, and it should save on more staff uses than I'm using here, so it's worth getting. Pune's job on this map is to break this Axe Fighter so that Citrine can kill him without worrying about the counterattack damage. Amber is going to Astra Storm, as it just barely reaches Hortensia from the starting zone. He overkills by a lot, as the threshold for one-shotting her isn't particularly high. This Astra Storm cannot be done on turn 1 because it causes the enemy AI to react differently, and ultimately Zephyr doesn't get caught in the Great Aether because of that.
I got this.
Now Fram, Diamond, and John are going to trade Obstruct to establish a wall to protect Pandrail.
Not a worry.
Marnie very conveniently tries to attack Ivy, but because Ivy is next to Panette, who is holding the Alphonse Bond ring for spur attack, Ivy just one-rounds her. Because Amber broke Hortensia's first revival stone, she now moves forward to Diabolical Dance the reinforcements that show up. It's very nice since more of my units can reach her from there. And all the extra reinforcements give some more EXP to Kagetsu and Ivy as well. Panette is going to reposition Pandreo up. Before Ivy commits to any action, she needs to equip the L-Surge as she no longer is going to have the damage buff from spur attack. This enemy phase, Marnie moves first and will still try to attack Ivy. But since she's using a smash weapon, Ivy will just one-round her before she gets an attack off. Before Kagetsu moves, Merrin's going next to him for the additional +10 hit to take one of Hortensia's health bars. Merrin just barely survives as she gets hit by everything in this chapter thanks to Tonics, the defense +1 inherit, and starting her turn next to Ivy on turn 1 in this turn for the fortified defense buff.
Fine.
And then Kagetsu is going to weave around Hortensia and one-round her with a compact axe +2. I've seen Marnie attack him before, so since Merrin will always be body blocking, Marnie can't reach if he's in this position. Now with the boss room sorted out, I'm just going to get some EXP on Citrine and Amber.
I'm okay.
And lastly, Alir will get the boots.